What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the full comprehensive breakdown. This is part 4 of the Vancouver Canucks schedule. We're going through the whole thing, going through in each detail, every single game that the Canucks are playing. I'm with my man, Corey, once again, at the Canucks News, the Canucks News Summer Guy. Corey, what's up, man? We're good. We've been at this for a while with the bloopers, guys. If I ever record, I should really show you the amount of content we would have got from it. It's unbelievable.
Like our 5th start to this one.
That's so good. By the way, watch all the other ones. Drop a like on them. Subscribe if you guys are big Canucks fans and want to listen to me laugh and just make a fool of myself half the time. That'll be great. All right. There we go. Dallas Stars. The first time we're mentioning Rantanen in 3 videos or 4 videos now. I can't believe it. We have not talked about Rantanen yet, so this will be a fun little meme for the people that actually watch this all the way through all of them. Yes, Rantanen is coming home. Rantanen's coming to Vancouver. It's coming to Vancouver and for a home game.
Yeah,
it's going to be nice to see. And also Dallas, Wyatt Johnson, there's Heiskanen. They have a really good hockey team. Stanley Cup contender. So it's going to be a good one. That's on the Monday there. On Wednesday, we have Carolina Hurricanes. Stankoven comes home. And as Carolina, man, they apparently don't do well against us. That's what Corey mentioned to me. This is my master.
It's more like the Canucks do better than you think. You think that the Carolina is going to dominate them, and for whatever reason, the record's actually like kind of even.
And you get to chill out and watch Kokeniemi, which is, I know you're very excited to watch him. So that's going to be very exciting. Sebastian Aho, by the way, is a monster, and it's always fun to watch him play hockey and just dominate both sides of the ice. All right, on Friday, we have Chicago Blackhawks on the 6th there. Bedard, once again, in the away game. I hope he has a really nice bounce-back season this year. And they do have some pretty good young talents on that Chicago team, and they have more high draft picks. So who knows? Maybe there'll be a little bit of a surprise this year. But probably not. Let's be honest. They're into Gavin sweepstakes.
Even if their rookies take like a big step, I don't think they're going to be any better because like the defensive instincts come in way like those take time to build, and it's like all of them are just at like step 1 of doing that. So if anything, like they should probably be worse this year.
Well,
but I'm hoping they're more fun because they've been really boring on top of being bad.
They do have, Korchinski is good and Vlasic's good. And these are young guys. Wyatt Kaiser, right? Like they have some young guys that will grow into that role. So I do like them for sure. On the 7th we have for sure.
On the 7th, and so they have all these good young players.
So there's just they need time more than anything. They're going to be in the Gavin sweepstakes for sure there. All right, Winnipeg Jets on the 7th. We talked at length about the Winnipeg Jets. So actually, wait until you see the next team because that's going to be great. You really need to watch the previous videos because, guys, we talked on the 9th there about the Ottawa Senators. No joke. It was 5-6 minutes about the Ottawa Senators. I love the Ottawa Senators. If you really want to hear my takes on it, definitely check out the last one on the Ottawa Senators there. But I think they're going to be really good. I'm just a huge Jake Sanderson fan. I think he's going to be one of the best defensemen in the league if he's not already on that path. I think Ottawa's going to be great. So that's going to be on the Monday there. And it looks like there's going to be no games on Sunday, by the way, in March. Just something.
That Senators game has an odd start time for being a home game. That's a 6 p.m. game.
6 p.m. game. So the traffic, you save some traffic on the way back, but it's going to be tight if you're getting off at 4:30. It's going to be tough to get there, get your parking stuff figured out early as possible. By the way, for people that live in Vancouver, a good place to park is Science World. Cheaper parking. And it's really a beautiful walk along that little water there to the stadium. And it's much cheaper, and there's usually availability there. So just for the people that want to do that, check that out. On the 12th, we have Corey's favorite hockey team, the Nashville Predators. Corey, tell me why you love the Nashville Predators so much.
They are, since their inception, one of the most unappealing organizations down to the name, the former name of their arena, their logo, the style they've always played. Like, they've never been bad, like terrible. They've just been this.
Yeah.
So
And it's kind of crazy because like last season they had so much hype because of they went so crazy. But hey, if you're a big fan of Stamkos, right? Stammer is going to come to Vancouver there on the 12th, so that's always nice to see. And I'm sure Sherwood likes
Kiefer
playing against.
Sherwood is a better
Yeah.
player than Steven Stamkos.
That's a hot take, but I guess maybe right now he's playing really
He
well. And
was a
Stamkos
better.
is
So
not playing
here's the
well.
crazy. I'll go on a bit of a rant here. He was a better player or a comparable player to Steven Stamkos at 5-on-5 the year before last year. So 2 seasons ago, he was like they had almost identical 5-on-5 numbers. And last year, like Stamkos is cratered and like
Mm.
Sherwood's has just grown. It's kind of crazy how much Stamkos is basically a power play merchant now.
We need to extend Sherwood sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
I think
they
his
want him.
stock is going to go up and up and up.
Yep, they
So
want
yeah,
him.
so that's the Nashville game on the 12th there on the Thursday. On it's a home game, by the way. And
Yep.
then, by the way, this is going to be a 6-game homestand. By the way, it's important to mention there. On the 14th,
that's an 8-game homestand.
That is an 8-game homestand. Important to mention there. Keep that one in. That's good. Yeah. All right. The 14th, we have the Seattle Kraken. Kraken is going to be a weird team again. Like we talked a little bit about them, but they're going to be a weird team. But no, the Canucks are way better on paper. Way better on paper. Oh yeah, their defense is on a completely different planet to anything Seattle can put together. In my opinion.
But I think the Kraken's forwards are better on paper than the Canucks forwards.
Yes, if you go by, I would say.
If I only go by what happened last season, and like
depth, but you know, we if you would say who's the best player forward wise on both teams, potential and just from what he did in the past, I know he had a bad season last year, but. I would still think it's still Pettersson, would it not be? Or
sure, but he's got to prove it, right? Like that's the thing. It's been a while. You got to go out and prove it. Like, and this isn't to say that I think like that Kraken's forwards are great. Like they all underperformed last year and were a worse scoring team than the Canucks. Like the Kraken also have problems. I just think that like they have a better forward group. And their defense is actually a pretty solid thing as well.
Yeah, they do have a good defense. I just think the Canucks. I'm really high.
I think they're a comparable team. I just think they're a very comparable team to the Canucks.
Really high on the Canucks defense. Like I think people are like outside media, like outside Vancouver, they are sleeping on the Canucks defense. They don't realize like how much we've changed from that trade deadline, how good DPD is, and Marcus Pettersson was really good for us. It's completely transformed. I think that's going to be great. All right, and then on the 17th, we play a preview of the Stanley Cup final between Florida and Vancouver, the Florida Panthers.
Oh, and, wait. Sorry, can I interrupt? We forgot to talk about the trade deadline. The whole reason we stopped and restarted at a certain point.
And the funny thing is we did stop and restart it. So let's talk about the deadline. Yeah. Which teams do you think are going to be the most active?
The bad ones and the good ones. I
know you don't know who's going to be good or not, but okay.
I don't know.
Let me follow this up.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this then instead. All right. Do you think the Canucks, this is a Canucks-centric YouTube channel, do you think the Vancouver Canucks are going to get a second line center during this offseason, or potentially do you think they're going to grab one at the trade deadline this year instead? Because a lot of people think, hey, if we don't get a second line center, because you know there's injury concerns with Hedel Wright, and who knows how he's going to be. Hopefully he's fully healthy and he's going to have a kick-ass season. But we might be desperate for a second line center. Also, we want a young second line center like a Rosso or McTavish type. Maybe that is when we make that swing. So that would be a storyline we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on. And again, our defense is pretty set, and the Canucks did mention that Tom Willander is expected to be on this team, which is really interesting.
Durant said that. The Canucks haven't said anything. Durant has said that.
Durant said that they expect them to.
To answer your question, let's say I'll none of the above. They will do what they've done in the past, and they will get a second line center before the Olympics. Because that's Rutherford's MO, which is Alvin's MO, which is work early. Get your work done early so those players can gel and you have way more runway. Yeah, you're paying more, but you're getting that player for longer.
So that's This deadline is going to be an interesting one for sure, and it's always fun. Just the deadline in general, it's always going
And
to be
there's some interesting names. Like I'm just looking quickly at my list. Like Martin Nietzsche is a UFA, and we saw. Could this be a similar situation to what the Hurricanes or what the Avalanche did and the Hurricanes did with Rantanen and Nietzsche like last year, where you're like, this guy doesn't want to stay here. We got to try to flip him for someone else and see if we can find a more permanent solution. And we know the Canucks have loved Nietzsche.
back to Carolina. Who
No,
knows? By the way,
no.
Canucks did like Nietzsche quite a bit, but I think
Oh
that
yeah.
was more for a major package with Elias Pettersson. I don't think that's true. Pettersson's not going to get traded anymore.
No, I don't think that's the way it's going to go. And his value is going to basically go down. It's going to be a rental value at that point, unless you're re-signing him. I'm really just in general curious what Nietzsche's future is. Like,
It's going to be
who
interesting to
wants him?
see
Where's
how
he
well
going
he
to
does
go?
this year too. He's had
Yeah,
a pretty
totally.
decent season. Florida Panthers, yeah, we just talked a little bit about them. It's just the Stanley Cup champs, man. You get to see them at home. They just have an absolutely freaking great roster. Just the depth on that, and Marchand's going to troll the Canucks in some way. So there's going to be that. So that's going to be interesting to see. You guys can go ahead and boo all you want the Florida Panthers, but I respect that team, man. That's a monster of a team. Tampa Bay on 19th there. Tampa Bay again, like just a really good hockey team, and but they are getting up in age now. And how many more years of prominence are they going to have, if any, left? Maybe this is the first year of the downswing. It's going to happen eventually.
They run out of gas as the season goes on. Like you see it every year. They have a strong regular season, and they get the playoffs now, and they're kind of burning out even with Gensel. So we'll see if that. Maybe the 2 years in a row shorter actually gives them more gas, like for the rest of the season. Who knows though?
But also you have to mention that the East in general looks to be getting way better. And the Leafs also are getting, in my opinion, regular season. They're getting a little bit they're getting worse for sure without Marner. And we'll see how good they're going to be during that. So like there's some of the top teams are getting a little bit worse, except for maybe Carolina. And then in Florida, obviously they're just going to be dominating. But those Montreal Canadiens should be better. Ottawa Senators should be good. It's just a lot there. So that's an interesting team to look at. So St. Louis Blues on the 21st. Get to see Suter once again. So if you're a big fan of Suter, go take them out. It should be in Binnington, right? Like Binnington's always, hit or miss on how. And Brock Besser should probably do well against him. He always kills him. So
that's a 4 p.m. game. That Blues game.
Oh, interesting. 4 p.m. So that's actually good to note there. It's what is that on the Saturday? So
it's a Saturday 4 p.m.
Got to get off work early on that one as well. So these Saturday games are just.
There's a lot of early home games this year. I don't exactly know why. I assume it definitely has to do with the condensed schedule and stuff like that.
And then we have Anaheim once again on the 24th. We talked about them at depth, at not nauseum, but in quite a bit already. And then on the 26th, we have the Los Angeles Kings. We haven't talked too much about because we haven't faced them that much, I realized. Los Angeles Kings at home there on the 26th. They have a serious shot to be a Stanley Cup contender this year. They're a very, very good hockey team that has a lot of potential. Can they get through the Edmonton Oilers? Can they finally break through? Do you think the Kings will go ahead of Edmonton this season in the playoffs? What do you think?
No, they're a worse team than last year.
Because they lost Gavrikov, right?
They lost their best defenseman and replaced them with two guys who are like third pairing guys, and they're paying them like they're second pairing guys. Like
but the Kings always do well, though, man. It's every year I think
they're rolling the. I don't like last year they rolled the dice on their goalie whose name I'm forgetting now. What's his name? Give me a second.
Is it Kemper?
Yeah, they rolled the dice on Kemper. He had a good bounce back season. Will it happen again? I don't know. Goalies are weird and things are weird, and he's been up and down, up and down, up and down his whole career. And so if Kemper can't make saves, then they don't have the offense to keep it going. Their defense is like they have Cody. Like here's three of their defensemen in their main six.
Okay.
Joel Edmondson, Cody Ceci, and Brian.
Ceci's underrated.
Yeah, he's fine for like when you surround him with guys who can move the puck and other guys. He's not good as your like nominal number 3 defenseman.
But you have Brent Clark there, who got a
Who's
real
not
decent look.
developed, but is not developing.
But he did get a more of an opportunity last season for the LA Kings, and he looked pretty damn good. Even though the coach didn't really love him as much, but he looked pretty damn good for the LA Kings, and he's going to get a really good opportunity. Mikey Anderson is a really good defenseman.
Oh, I love Anderson.
He's a really solid, and Drew Doughty, the guy doesn't age, man. The guy is still pretty damn decent, and he still skates really well for his age, and he's still physical. Just can he stay healthy? And also, I think they're going to do something at the deadline. I think they'll find something at the deadline. That's why I'm still quite high on the LA Kings. Oh, not to mention their forward group. I guess it's getting older now. They have, obviously Kopitar up there, but Kuzmenko will fit in really well there with the LA Kings. I think he should have a nice season. Fiala's not a monster. Fiala's really good. Kempe's really good. Byfield's really good. Again, still pretty young, still better.
They added Corey Perry, so it means they're going to the finals, and I don't know anything.
Right, and they have Perry, exactly. And then they have Dano as a shutdown guy. I like the LA King. I think they're still going to be very, very good. So, there you go.
That Kings is fans. The team that I think will my honest hot take is I think they will fall out and be a bubble team or miss the playoffs. But there's something we haven't mentioned about the Kings. You did mention his name, but we haven't talked about it. We've talked about it a lot with Ovechkin, maybe his last year. Malkin, maybe his last year. We know this is Kopitar's last year. He's not signing another contract. He's retiring after this year. So surefire first ballot Hall of Famer.
So good. And can you be a first ballot Hall of Famer and still be underrated? Because I still feel don't give him the respect. He is so good for so long.
Well, when you're on a team with Doughty, right? And Doughty's always been, and the thing is as is common with guys like him, a lot of the teammates have bigger personalities. And he's a quiet guy. He doesn't really say a whole lot, doesn't do a lot. It might be a language barrier thing on that, even though he's been in North America forever. But it's he just doesn't have that big, loud personality. But he's been such a good player. And he's one of those guys that I like watching play. And I just have maybe more respect for the way he plays and what he's done with his career than almost anyone else.
Next up, we have on the 28th, the Calgary Flames. We didn't talk too much about them, but Calgary should be a really interesting team this season. They have Kadri on the center. Huberdeau should have a decent year. They have, my God, I'm actually getting a brain fart right now. The Calgary Flames, who do they have?
The Connor Zary, Matt Coronado.
That's the guy who they signed for the long-term contract, right?
Yeah, Sharon Govich, Frost. They've got still right now, as of we're recording this, Rasmus Anderson is still a Calgary Flame despite all the rumors. Mackenzie Weegar is fantastic. Yes. Dustin Wolf is he basically I assume, here's my theory, Dustin Wolf stole Pekka Rinne's soul somehow, and so all the short goalie energy went to him.
He's really good. He's really, really good. And they also picked up the guys from Philly, right? The Farabee and Morgan Frost as well, right? And
Farabee's been bad for them though. He just continued to slump and might even be injured. I'm not entirely sure, but the Flames are hardworking. That's their whole MO, right? They're gonna grind out every goal. They're gonna make you work for everything against them. There's gonna be no easy games against them. And this is the last time they play the Flames this season too.
If I'm not mistaken, they signed Kevin Ball to a longer term deal as well.
I forgot about that. That was one of those ones where they signed him to a contract that immediately makes you love the Marcus Pettersson contract even more than you already should.
Obviously they see something in him that
he's tall.
That they went out and they signed him for long term. By the way, Weegar and Anderson are both real good defensemen.
Weegar's so good and very committed. He wants to be there.
And this is probably, if not the hardest working team in the league, it's one of the hardest working teams in the league. On the 30th, we have Vegas. Oh, go ahead.
One more thing with them, it's going to be interesting to see if they start incorporating their younger defensemen as well at some point. They have Zame. I have no idea how to pronounce.
Oh, what's his name? Oh, that's right.
I'm so sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know. Perek, maybe Pereke. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
I'll be honest. This kid, he's really good.
Really
like
good.
And everything about him just screams like potential star.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he gets the Hudson treatment where, he kind of doesn't get all the, power play time at the beginning, but then he's just going to ramp up and then he's just going to have a monster, or not a monster season, but a really good season. The Hudson treatment, why he didn't start. Remember, Hudson didn't start on that first power play unit at the beginning of the season for Montreal. And you know what? I don't follow the Calgary Flames like to a T. So if any Calgary Flames fans can help me out with this on if he did play some power play time last year. I think he had only one game, right? Like he had one
or two. He played it because Bruchkevich only played one game. I think Zane played only one game and he scored a goal.
That is my elite hockey knowledge that I even know that. I'm just kidding.
It's going to be really interesting. I would love to know from Calgary fans if the expectation from the team or from what they've heard is if he's going to make the team right out of camp, or if he's going to be in the minor leagues or wherever he's going to go.
There's no way minor leagues. I think he's definitely on that team, right? 100%. Some way, somehow he's going to be on that. Like he's really good. Like he's really
he is really good. But there's the whole thing. Like teams like to slow burn some of their prospects, especially like that. Like he has, the one game. Oh, you know what? I don't think he can't play in the AHL. So he's either in Calgary or he's going to be in Saginaw.
And then on the 30th, we have Vegas on that Monday. We talked at length about the Vegas Golden Knights, so we can just kind of go through that. Then on the 1st, we have Colorado. By the way, last month here.
Yep.
Before the Canucks go on a massive Stanley Cup run in the playoffs. Colorado on the 1st there, and then Minnesota on the 2nd there. Again, like 2 away games. This is now we're getting into that late part of the season. Where are we going to be in the standings? Like, are we actually going to be, in the thick of things to make the playoffs, or is it going to be another disaster year? I think personally, it's going to be a solid year. I think we're going to make the playoffs this year. Personally, mostly because of our defense. But we still definitely need a second line center. If you haven't noticed from my 20 videos I think we've made on second line centers, but again, first we have Colorado there, and then second we have the Minnesota Wild, which we talked a little bit.
Wild play. That's my birthday, April 2nd.
Happy early birthday for that one. All right, that's great. And then we have the Mammoth coming into Vancouver, so that should be a fun one there. And
4 p.m. game. That's a 4 p.m. game.
Oh, 4 p.m. game. So that's
4 p.m. home game.
So of course, on the Saturday there. Thank you so much for that, Canucks. Our schedule maker. All right, on the 7th, we have Vegas. Now, we're starting to play Vegas quite a bit here near the end of the season. We don't play them. I think we didn't for the first 4 months. We didn't play them once, right? So
didn't play them and then just kind of shut them all in the end.
So that's – and look at that.
The Wild are in Minnesota.
By the way, look at that. Colorado, that's a good team. Minnesota, who knows? Vegas, really good team. Kings, really good team. San Jose, not really great team, but they'll probably play spoilers.
Kings twice, Oilers,
right? Ducks, and then the Kings and the Oilers. Like that's a tough way to end this. Now they might sit McDavid though.
Yeah, it normally does end like that though. The Canucks normally have a really tough end of the season every year, facing some of these teams, and the way it works is if they need to win the games. Well, I'm not going to be cynical. They normally actually just play well in April.
They always play. They always play well in April. Yes. Los Angeles Kings. They're on the 9th. It's an away game. We talked about them at length. On the 11th, we have the San Jose.
That Kings game is at 7:30 start time.
7:30 start time on that. What was it? Thursday, right?
That's a Thursday game.
On the Thursday, And on Saturday, is that a 4:00 start again here on San Jose?
Nope, that's a 7 p.m. one.
A 7 p.m. start against San Jose Sharks. We're nearing the stretch here at the end of the season. We're really curious. These games could be meaningful or they could be not meaningful whatsoever. We'll I guess maybe the draft position if we're
that's what's the point.
It really depends on Pettersson and the injuries and like there's just so many question marks and how Foot's going to be as a head coach. Like there's so many question marks. That would be a great video to just talk about all the question marks and
that would be
pros and cons of the Canucks season or schedule, or maybe I don't know.
It's why I say I don't know what to think of the Canucks. I also don't feel the roster's fully settled yet, right? So it's one of those things where I'm like, I don't know how they're going to be. I have no idea how to predict the season's going in. When you have a head coach with no track record and a bunch of assistant coaches with no track record, I have no idea how that's going to affect them. You know, you have your number one center whose knees he's fully healthy. Great. What does that look like? You know, same with everyone else, and they've remade a bunch of stuff. So we'll see.
I really hope we have a good season. And then we have Anaheim there on the 12th. That's a back-to-back game, by the way.
5 p.m. start time. That's a 5 p.m. game.
It's a 5 p.m. start on the Sunday there. And by the way, the last 4 away games, 1 home game in the last 5 games there. And also we have 6 away games, 3 home games in that whole month to end the season.
Yeah.
Something to look out for. And then the 14th, we have the Kings, and then we end the season on a game that could mean everything or could mean nothing against the Edmonton Oilers. And that is the full comprehensive, by the way, schedule breakdown. I also wanted to mention that we have 13 back-to-back games here from Vic Nazar. He mentioned for the Canucks because of the Olympic schedule season. So, but that is the full. We covered every single game in detail, kind of ish detail,
exhaustive detail.
Exhaustive detail. Obviously, there's different start times for different games. We kind of mentioned the important ones, but man, thank you, Corey, so much for joining me.
I got some notes. I got a couple things to say. I did want to talk about this. So a couple things. This is a big concern of mine. So because of the Olympics and the condensed schedule, there are less multi-rest days. So there's less two-day rests. There are no 3-day rests this year, apart from that big February break for the Olympics and the big Christmas break. That's it. Normally the Canucks had, like last season, they had 3-day rests in October, November, and March. So, 3 out of 3 in 3 months, they had 3 days to rest up. That's massive. Like that is a huge thing. When you have less rest, way more injuries. And that's going to be a major, major issue for some teams this year. You're going to see players going down with way more stress injuries than you normally have. And this happens pretty much every Olympics. And people will blame the Olympics, like getting injured at the Olympics. That's not what it is. It's that rush of constant games and no recovery in the first and second half. And I think this actually ties into the strategy of having Willander, Forbert, Mancini, and Pettersson, and rotating between all of them, because you keep all of those guys fresh and keep everyone else fresh as well.
Yeah, as long as Willander gets a lot of minutes, man, like I think it's important for his development one way or another. He needs to get minutes. So if it's not going to be for Vancouver,
it'll be in Abbotsford.
It'll be in Abbotsford. Yeah, make sure he has that.
They don't rush guys. Like this development team, this management group, they have not rushed anyone. Like they just don't. They let guys cook. Like that is their whole philosophy. And it's been like that. They try to sign guys early and they leave them in the AHL until they're very sure, and then they try to put them in positions to succeide. Like it's
working. It's working. Obviously working. Like there's players that they've developed, like fully developed now, and like guys are going to be getting opportunities like Carlson, Sasson, and
undrafted
Baines
free agents.
Yeah,
the undrafted guys, like you have Sasson, Baines. And like not talked about much because he's kind of a space filler, but Neil Zaman. These guys were all Oman was not undrafted, but they were all signed as free agents. And the Canucks developed them and put them in good positions to succeed, and they're all at various degrees NHL players. And you see that with guys undrafted and guys taken all throughout, and they've gotten like Ty Mueller's. Pettersson was a 3rd-round pick, and they're really, really good at that. And it's going to be incredibly important this year to have this constant flow of guys coming up from the minors. We saw it a lot last year. That was more due to injury. The Canucks had used more minor leaguers in the beginning of the year than they've ever had in the past. They had more call-ups. I wouldn't be surprised if that's another thing this year, really taking advantage of having Abbotsford there, and to really give guys a lot of rest days so they end up getting 3-day breaks, or they start carving out 2-day breaks for some guys.
Yeah. So guys, that is it. We covered everything, every single game. So Go watch all the previous videos if you haven't watched them. You can just leave them in the background, listen to them in the audio. There's not really a lot of stuff going graphically, right? It's just us chit-chatting about hockey and the schedule in depth. I really wanted to go in depth over the schedule, and I'm really happy my good friend here, Corey, joined me on these videos. It was a lot of fun, man. So thank you so much, guys. Drop a like and a subscribe if you guys are fans of the Canucks and fans of this channel. I really appreciate it. And have a great, lovely day. Cheers, guys. Bye, Corey.
Bye.